They're joined now in New York by the Trump supporter and conservative commentator Ann Coulter. Welcome to the programme again. Why do you think Donald Trump keeps saying the security of our nation is at stake when the judges have made it absolutely clear that the government has presented no evidence that any alien from any of the countries named in the order has perpetrated an attack on the United States?
Well, two things. The judges can say that, but it isn't true. It isn't true at all. In fact, two of the famous cases just in the last year, the Somali who started stabbing people and running them over at Ohio State University, and then at Christmas time, the Somali refugee who started stabbing people at a shopping mall.
You're not going to start talking about the Bowling Green massacre, are you?
Quite recent. I was the one who first introduced that to the world, and no, I know what happened since I found out about it from reading the court transcripts and writing about it, including in my book, Adios America. So point one, the court's factual finding is wrong. Point two, it is not up to the court to make this factual finding. And it may sound like this is some horrible defeat for the president to untrained ears, but, you know, there are 1,000 judges. The Ninth Circuit is the most overruled circuit, and the law is absolutely unequivocally clear that it is the president who sets immigration policy. The courts have found that over and over and over again, that it is an extension of foreign policy. This is absolutely within the president's discretion. We don't need to hear from any federal judges on this, but we do have a lot of lawless judges. And
well, the judges make it clear it's not.
Just because they go last doesn't make them more important than the president.
I don't know whether
has powers that courts don't.
Yeah, I don't know whether you're a lawyer, but I mean, these judges are, and they're pretty clear. They're pretty clear. They're pretty clear that you know, the idea that a presidential order on immigration can't be reviewed just isn't true. I mean, look, we'll see when this goes to the Supreme Court. But the wider question is about Trump's relationship with the truth. Because as days go on, it's more and more clear that what comes out of the president and his administration just can't be trusted. And, you know, you have to wonder whether at first you thought it was maybe he just doesn't know, maybe these are just mistakes. But now it's starting to look deliberate. It's starting to look like deliberate misinformation.
Well, that just without any specific example. I mean, I just had to
let me give you a few.
The judges on a factual claim. You just repeated something that is factually untrue, that no one from these countries, I mean, there are dozens of them, have been arrested and convicted for committing terrorism, and plus which it doesn't matter.
Well, I look forward to you sending me the list of dozens.
This is part of the president's...
I mean, let's take a, you know, if you take the Pulitzer Prize-winning PolitiFact...
Will you read them?
Who are renowned fact checkers.
Will you read them on air?
Score,
I mean, you make this snotty little remark. I'd be perfectly happy to send you not only dozens of cases, of convictions. No, you're just being snotty and sarcastic.
No, I'm trying to... Let's get to the questions. I mean, look, the point is...
to a factual case that does not require... I just gave you two, when anyone in America, certainly, I'm
when
surprised
Donald
you don't
Trump
know about the
said the murder rate in our country is the highest it's been in 47 years.
Or the St. Cloud Mall stabbing. I can also give you two cases that I think you ought to remember. They were certainly big cases in America. One was the president sending home Elian Gonzalez to Cuba. The court found, yes, he will be persecuted in Cuba, but immigration is solely the discretion of the president.
Okay, let's just look at some of the Trump untruths. No, hang on. Don't just keep talking. I want to ask you some questions. If you look at PolitiFact, the fact-checking website, I mean, they score Donald Trump's truthfulness extremely badly. I mean, the murder rate in our country is the highest it's been in 47 years, he said. Completely untrue. I've already saved more than $700 million when I got involved in the negotiation on the F-35. Mostly false. When he claimed that the media doesn't deliberately report on terrorist attacks around the world, it was nonsense. I mean, you can keep saying he tells the truth. It's clear to everybody else he doesn't.
No, I rate PolitiFact mostly false. So first, you have already given two false facts. Well, three, actually. We have the two I just mentioned. Yes, there have been terrorist attacks from these people. And yes, it is solely the president's prerogative in the little package that came on before I went on.
That's an argument. It's not a fact.
Absolutely.
That's a legal argument. It's not a fact.
It is a fact that the Supreme Court has said the precise words that immigration as an extension of the president's foreign policy it is up to the president. They have said, and I just gave you two famous cases, so you don't have to look up the case law.
Well, address the one on
Arizona
murder.
law,
what about the murder claim?
The Elian Gonzalez case.
What about the murder claim?
Well, how about the claim that you're
was
talking
it
about
true?
something that
was it true?
said months ago, and it was true. And you know what
it
was untrue?
True.
That you just told your viewers. You just told your viewers that it's unprecedented for a president to attack judges. Obama did it at the State of the Union address, attacking judges. I mean, this idea we have President Trump all over magazines with, crosshairs of an assassination target on his face, but we can't criticize these precious judges. No, liberals like judges because they're not elected and they can just invent stuff and say, oh, we read it in the Constitution.
But the question is whether it's presidential, whether it's appropriate for the leader of the free world. The reason it upsets so many people in Britain is because Britain loves America, or many people in Britain love America. And when the president appears to be tweeting about Nordstrom and his daughter's range of clothes, rather than the very serious problems that there are in the world and the terrible terrorist attack in Canada that he still hasn't mentioned anywhere, people find that really worrying, and you don't seem to find it at all embarrassing. That's what's surprising.
No, to the contrary. I've criticized him on the Nordstrom tweet, too. No, we shouldn't have done that. Congratulations. You got one. But you did misstate a fact that is certainly not slowing him down from defending America. He's a bundle of activity, and he's able to impose these travel restrictions and fight with the court and nominate a Supreme Court justice. Oh, he can do it all and send out a mildly inappropriate tweet.
Do you think he will be offended by what's been said to him about his British trip? That the Speaker of the House of Commons doesn't want him anywhere near addressing the House in the way Barack Obama did. Will he care?
No, I don't think his feelings will be hurt. I think he'll get over it. He's the leader of the free world. Although he does care about appearances, doesn't he?
I mean, he does want this visit. He's talked about how important Britain is and the special relationship. And
yeah, it is. It is. Britain is an important ally. And, you just gave, I think, 6 false facts. You claim that the British are appalled by Trump. Well, according to the polls I see, they like that they're more in favor of this
a lot of
travel
British
ban
people,
than even Americans
I won't claim to speak for my country, but a lot of people are appalled. That's pretty clear. Whether it's a majority or not, who knows,
A lot of people are appalled about everything. To be acting like you're speaking for the British people and you're appalled by Trump, no, that is manifestly not true. My guess is you thought they were appalled by the Brexit vote, too.
Do you think...
And yet it passed.
But do you think the way this first most important executive order on the travel ban was well handled? Because, we've now learned an awful lot about how it was executed, the extent to which Donald Trump really was aware of precisely what was going on, the extent to which Steve Bannon was involved in it. Do you think it was handled professionally? Or do they need to learn, from this and do things better?
No, the only thing they need to learn, and boy, have they learned it, is that there will be massive resistance to anything Trump tries to do on immigration, which was the main reason he was elected president in a shocking victory. For Pete's sake, he's never held elective office. He's this sort of wild, brash billionaire. It's not like Americans looked around the country and said, let's put a reality TV star in the White House. No, it was because of his positions on immigration that have been ignored by both political parties and the media for decades and decades. And there is going to be massive resistance for every little thing he does. And this was a very little thing. And there was some confusion for a while in the press about whether Obama had in fact, imposed the same travel ban for 6 months.
That wasn't true either, was it?
At some point on Syria. I didn't say it was. Perhaps you reported it. Maybe that's another false fact I'm getting from you guys. I'm just saying that it wasn't an insane extension because these are the 7 countries designated as terrorist countries, or as Madeleine Albright changed the terminology, countries of particular concern. These are the 7 terrorist countries designated by Hillary Clinton's State Department under Obama. To have a 2-month travel pause? This is the mildest
We've got to leave it
thing.
there. We've got to have a pause.
Like
I hope it won't be 2 months before you come back. Ann Coulter, thank you very much.